All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Late Night Gun Chat. Thank you for stopping by. Gun Late Night Gun Chat. You just ask questions and I answer them. They're worth about as much as you pay for them. So there you go. So we're just talking guns and guy stuff and politics and whatever you guys want to talk about. Music, whatever. I don't care. Sci-fi. I love sci-fi. But anyway, um, there we go. I got kicked out somehow. I hit the wrong button on the computer. So, Hunter Kirk, it's good evening. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Um, Before we go any farther, don't forget to check out my MeWe page. My MeWe page is where all my affiliate links are. I have my Patreon link in the description. Hopefully, my internet stays doing well. So that's that. What's up, Grizzly Crazy? How you doing? All right. Hello from Sacramento, Calaveras 32 Special. All right. Sounds good, man. Liam, hey, I'm from Alberta, Canada. All right, nice to see you. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. So, again, late night gun chat. This is your first time here. Or you just ask questions about what you would use hunting, shooting, and all that stuff. As my young son pushes something across the floor there that you probably heard, because I'm in the basement. So that's that. Good evening, everybody from South Texas, where it is still warm. I'm assuming, Mr. Sanchez. Bernabe. Is that how you pronounce it? Bernabe? Bernabe? There we go. Adam Morgan from Reno, Nevada. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's see. Dan O'Neill says full moon. There you go. Old Spice one, Western New York here. Poor fat man. Have you ever tested any nozzle petitions? Yes, I've got several on the channel. I've got several. I've got two on the channel. I've got 270 and I've got let's see, 270 and 338 Win Mag. I think what I have. Bernie, there we go. I got you. Bernie, me the people, cool. 10 millimeter is the best millimeter for me. 10 millimeter is the best millimeter for me. All right. Oh, I actually did that as a music video in case y'all hadn't seen it yet. So go check that out. Yep. It's kind of a silly song, but you know what it is. All right. So Dan O'Neill, from Earth, I come in peace. Yeah. All right. First question of the night. Adam Morgan is 7.62 by 39 enough for bear? It's like I say almost every week when we get into this discussion. If you can put it in the right spot and you have a properly constructed bullet, something that's not going to rip apart, yes. If you can't do those two things, no. And that's true whether you have a 45-70 or you have a 9mm. Okay. So people have done it with 9mm. Should they? No. All right. But no. If that's all you had, if you just got here and all you had was an AK-47 or a SKS, God forbid, all right, and you loaded up with some Full Metal Jacket, and you were walking in bear country, would it do the job if you did the job? Yes, it would. All right, so is what it is. Lakeview Outdoors, good to see you. Eagle Eye Shooting, good to see you. Peace out, man. Great channel. Go check them out. Very good channel. What's the topic? Oh, there is no topic. We just answer questions. So any question that pops up from the audience here, from the channel subscribers that are or watchers that are watching, that's what we do. You're welcome to join. I think I sent you the link. Somehow your email is like on one of the copy and pasted emails from like Crazy Scotsman or something, and there we go. So I think I sent you the link. 30mm Vulcan for bear defense. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. Is there any caliber where you feel confident enough no matter where you hit it? No, not really. I'm more confident with 45-70 than anything else. I think 45-70 will penetrate better than a 12-gauge slug, do more damage, start to tumble with a big old bullet, a big old hard cast bullet. If you have to hit it in the body, it'll break shoulders. So yeah, I'm good with 45-70, but you still have to make a good stuff. So Okie Precision, it's my first live on this channel. Hey, how you doing? all we do is you guys ask questions and let me know, and I'll give you my answers, and they're worth exactly what you pay for it. And if anybody else joins in, I sent Chuke and Mr. Big Kid and Pat and a few other people the channel link, but show link, but it is what it is. So, all right. So let's get those questions coming. Unlike other channels, you don't have to pay a super chat to do it, although I appreciate it if you do. All right. So with a Texas heart shot, caliber doesn't matter. What's the difference between a Texas heart shot and a regular heart shot? I'm just asking. Just asking. So I'd say more range and accuracy versus 12 gauge. Yep, absolutely. So 12 gauge slug at a certain distance, you don't know where it's going. You know where they're going to spin off to. Their spin drift is pretty bad, stuff like that. So yeah, calipers. Yeah, that's the funny Texas heart shot. All right. Texas heart shot is from the Bears exit hole. Yeah, if you understand. I get it now. All right. Yep. Anatomically speaking, that'll kill anything. Diana Cervantes, good to see you here. Good to see you every week. Texas heart shot is through the brown eye. Well, now I understand. Thank you, Lakeview Outdoors. Favorite powder for 6.5 Creedmore? So far it's been H4350 and Superformance. I've got to perfect my loads, and I decided to put perfecting my loads on hold until I got my 10 millimeter done. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do all this 10 millimeter first, because 10 millimeters, like, our backup guns are 10 millimeters. Mine's the 29. My wife's is the 40, and that's our backup guns for stuff like that. I like 500 Smith & Wesson loaded Magnum with the Magtech 325 bullets. That'll work. That'll work. Which 5.56 projectile does the best with transonic destabilization? Oh no, that's a great question. I really haven't shot 5.56 past 500 yards. I haven't shot it 223 actually. So I mean, I would have to say it's probably your 80 grainers or your 77 grainers with the higher ballistic coefficient, but I don't know. So if you figure out, let me know. Depends on what you're shooting it out of. A 24-inch barrel bolt action is going to give you a lot different than a 16-inch gas gun. So that's that. All right. 4570 in my bar and 338 Win Mag. That and the Browning BAR and 338 Win Mag is a good one. That's for sure. Just bought a new Smith & Wesson 686 4-inch. There you go. 10 millimeters, the Glock or 1911 design better? First and foremost, I would have to say it depends on what you're using it for. If you're looking at getting the most velocity, your 1911 is probably going to be better. I did some videos this past week, and I filmed some videos with different 10 millimeter ammo, and the stock Glock 6-inch barrel in the G40 doesn't get what the box says, but you put in that 6.5-inch barrel with the new spring, the NDZ spring, it shoots much higher than the box, or a few feet per second higher than the box. So the lockup is better in a 1911 than a standard Glock. So for that, I would say as long as you got a good, reliable 1911, 1911's better, but a double stack would be better too. So we like the Glocks. They feed and function a lot better in my opinion, but 1911s can be picky, magazine picky, ammo picky. That's that. So, all right. Sorry, Eagle Eye Shooting. I'm trying to get to your question here. All right. Looking at elk hunt specifically for meat next season. What do you look for in choosing your elk? What's the first thing you go for to start processing? I have never hunted elk, so I would let somebody else choose that. In choosing your elk, I would say, I would look for a cow tag though. I mean, if you're just going for meat, try for a place that has a cow tag. That's what I would try for. That's for sure. And that way you get some meat. If you're hunting specifically for meat and it's a bull only, I'd shoot the first bull you saw that is legal in that state's definition. So that's that. So um, four, that's easy. TTSX, LRX, GMX, any of those bullets. Terminal ascent, nozzle position. Those would probably be my top five right there. Since my top five worst videos doing so good, I'm going to do a top five best video. And just bought a new 686 4-inch. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Oh, wow, I'm picking up a 586 tomorrow, Diana. Oh, nice. That's a good one. Recently got me a Ruger M77 and 416 Ruger. Any good ammo recommendations? What are you using it for, Big Rig? Good to see you on the channel, by the way. I would say, if it's for bear defense here, if it's for, here in Alaska, I would say, GMX if they make it. The DGS, bonded DGS that Hornady has, the Dangerous Game series, that's a good one. It's a flat nose, bonded with the bimetal jacket, the hardened lead core. So that's that. I have clean enough deer to know much better. If you don't rupture, cut the guts, very messy. Yes, that's for sure. All right. I'm pretty stubborn as far as hunting goes. I've been shooting the neck since I tracked a deer about 100 yards from a heart shot. Yep. People don't understand. Deer have a lot of adrenaline in them. If you shoot them through the heart, they can keep going. Absolutely. Neck shot. I've killed several white-tailed deer when I lived in Georgia with 55 grain VMAX from an AR-15, 20-inch AR-15 right there. I only shoot does over food plot. I wouldn't take it into the deep woods. But that's that. Hey, dude. What's up, hey, dude? All right. Kill a young elk, Kenny. The meat is a lot better than an old bull. And after you kill it, let the meat hang for at least a week before processing. Oh, wow. Cool. Good to know. I've got some 80 grain hand load in my 24-inch barrel AR-15. Tell us how does it do going across the transonic barrier, and what distance does it go across the transonic barrier? That's that. Alaskan, it would be for a big game defense pistol. Okay, so the 10 millimeter Glock versus I would have to say, the prices on 1911 10 millimeters versus the price on a Glock, even in today's market, you're saving $400 or $500 buying a Glock or a Springfield XDM. So I would say go that route. I'd even look at the EAA Witness Armory, European American Armory, Tangfolio Witness. It's actually pretty good too. So that's that. All right, cool. Why don't y'all take me elk hunting next year? We only have elk on Kodiak Island, and I don't really want to go hunt elk on Kodiak Island. So somebody take me elk hunting next year. I want to go. All right. I just want to go and see elk and help be a meat packer. Just want a G34 third generation new in box for $515. No MOS. I'm going to sell my G19 third generation. Good trade. I'm not as addicted as Chuke. I do have issues. Yeah, Chuke has issues. Oh, let me tell you about this. So Chuke lent me a gun for a video, or was going to lend me a gun for a video. And he goes, well, the guy didn't come by it today, so you can have it. And then the next day, I'm getting up to get stuff ready, and he's texting me. He calls me. That guy's going to come get it today. I need to go get it right now. You just said it. Why didn't you tell him buy it next weekend or wait till Monday? So that guy literally loaned me a gun to use for a video and then didn't do that. So yeah. Chuke did do a video on the Tangfolio. That was the compact. That one was really weird recoil. And once you put full bore 10 millimeter in it, it was really weird recoil. He got rid of it though, I think. Of course he did. Do you think a Glock and 50 GI would be practical for bear carry? No. And here's the reason why. Because you can convert to 460 Roland or 45 Super, both of which have more foot-pounds of energy and penetration than 50 GI for a lot less money, and find the ammo easier and the brass easier. So you can find all of that easier, J-Dog. And so no, I don't think it's practical from this point about buying it. Now, if you want to build one and that's what you want, yes, it's a good gun for bear carry. But you're talking about 460 Roland and 45 Super get more foot pounds of energy and deeper penetration. I've shot 45 Super through a grizzly bear skull. So, is what it is. Hey, dude. Thank you, hey, dude. Hey, 27 guys in the room and only 12 in the ROM and only 12 likes. Let's help out. Thank you, man. Yep. Always hit the like button. All right. Yep. There we go. We got 35 people in here now. That's great. I only know you're here and can answer your question if you say something on the YouTube. What lake? Okay. Been using nozzle precisions for over 25 years for big game. Just make sure you choose a bonded bullet to break the shoulder. Choosing any caliber 270 Winchester and above. Yep, that sounds good to me. Though if I come elk hunting, I'll probably bring my 6.5 by 284 because I'm using a good bullet. Man, 1911 just feels like a brick compared to a Glock. Gosh, you hear it the other way around so much, but yeah, I actually like the feel of that. So the far I shoot was 150 yards at a steel target and flat shooting. Okay, you're talking about your 80 grain stuff right there for Okie precision. Do you need to convert a spare room into a walk-in freezer using a Windows AC? I know I would big game hunting up there. No, I don't, because I don't big game hunt enough. I work for a living, so I don't. You know, the time I work, I'm a school teacher, so the time I work, not a lot. It's not really good to take a lot of time off. We have no substitutes this year, and it's not good to take a lot of time off during the season, so or during the early school year. So, nope. Yeah, I have a 284 AI or a 7 SOM and have been an avid steel hunter, especially last weekend at Competition Dynamics. Cool. Yeah, 284 AI or 7 SOM. Those those will be great on elk. So, elk on location in Alaska, Fagnock Island, Raspberry Island, and Kodiak Island. I've been on all three for elk and 3 Kodiak brown bears. I took my boat to these islands. Yeah, cool. Well, you're gonna have to get me on a boat to those islands. Let's go. Is bog standard 2 3/4 12 gauge double buck enough for brown bear defense? No, you want slugs. You want slugs. Yeah, if you hit them right in the snout, yeah, it's probably going to do the job. But you want slugs in case you have a body shot because the 12 gauge buck shot spreads apart in the tissue too much to penetrate. All right, so we only have black bears around here. It'd probably be better on okay on black bears, but I still say you want a good slug. All right, one big hole, one really big hole is good. If I ever get a hunt elk, I'll probably use 7mm ring mag just because there's a little more reach in my 308. Yeah, there you go. Just picked up a Winchester Model 54 and 30-06. I know you don't do much 30-06, but what bullet would you recommend for elk? Oh, I have a few 30-06 videos on the channel. A few, because my buddy, my cameraman, has one. What do you recommend for elk? Hornady GMX, Barnes TTSX, Barnes LRX. If you had the right twist rate, because I know it's a heavy bullet in the 30 caliber. But yeah, 150 grain, 165 grain TTSX. And then Terminal Sense, Nosler Petitions, Norma Oryx. All those would be good. So, move to Alaska, but it's just so darn cold. No, it's not that bad. You just bundle up and keep doing what you're doing. Even triple odd buck won't penetrate particularly well in a brown bear. Yep. Got better hit him in the nose. That's all I gotta say. Yep. Love my 7mm rim mag. Me too. I love my 7mm rim mag. Did some long range shooting with the 375 H&H. I was surprised the recoil didn't, because I could see a big beat you up. Can be a big to lug around for big game. Yeah. So 375 H&H, 375 Ruger actually don't kick as bad in the same weight gun and model gun as my 338 Win Mag. So yeah, all things being equal, they don't kick as bad. Okay. 30-06 240 grain woodleigh bullets. Yeah, no, that'll do it. What are those going out of a 30-06? 2,100 feet per second? I just got to ask. Joe Biden Special Reserve Basement sniffing hair. I want your thumbnail on a 2x3 bumper sticker for the back of my truck. Cool. I've posted it on a meme before on Instagram. You can go download it and make whatever you want to make, man. All right. What would be your top three firearms for a bush plane in Alaska? Oh, so that's easy. I would have a 4570 for bear defense. Once if you have to put down camp until you're rescued. All right, I would have a 22 long rifle for small game because there's a lot of small game critters and stuff. And in between those two, I would probably have a good bolt action rifle for large game that you have to take, in case you have to take, caribou, moose, black bear, even brown bear, or something to survive. Or to get the wolves farther out than a 22 or 4570 would get them. Yeah, I would probably do all those, but that's me. The top bush plane gun is a 4570. But that would be my top three. If I could carry three in the plane with me, that's what it'd be. And if you have a bush plane, let me know. Let's go hunt sometime. We need to talk. Hit me up on Instagram or MeWe John. Let me know because we need to talk. I need to get out and fly somewhere, get a real Alaska experience hunting in. Yeah, I understand, my friend. Just overkill here in South California. Really, 7mm Magnum's overkill for caribou unless you're shooting a long way. So, we need to trust buckshot for the snout. I've heard stories of brown bears getting a good chunk of their faces blown off and still charge. Yeah, there you go. AR-10 and a rimless 4570. Built one a few months ago. It's a beast. Eagle eye shooting. You got a video on that? Can you show it? Hopefully one of my mods can find that video and can put it in the link of the chat here. Because that would be cool. I'd like to see that. I'm subscribed to you somehow, but you know how YouTube is with notifications. So, a 1903 30-06 26-inch Remington CDL 24-inch 30-06. Okay, wow. Yeah. 24 and 26-inch barrels really help the 30-06 out, though. You gain a few more feet per second. I'm glad I have a 26-inch barrel in my 6.5 by 284 and my 7mm rim mag. Darth Yogi, what's up? Started a little early tonight. I'm not going to go as long either. I got to take my son shopping so that my wife can sleep. So what's up, dude? Hope you're doing well. So anyway, did some good testing this weekend with Adam Hymas will be happy with the Barnes bullets, the Barnes 140 grain TAC XP that he sent me. Loaded them up in 10mm, chronographed them with Glock 20, 29, 40, and different barrels and stuff like that. Hey, almost forgot it's Tuesday. Sweet, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. 270 or 30-06 for deer. Doesn't matter. Flip a coin. That's what you go with. Right now, what is available for ammunition in your area? If there's 270 on the shelf, you go 270. If there's 30-06 on your shelf, you go with 30-06. It's that simple. 270 versus 30-06 for deer. I've got a video on 270 versus 30-06. That's that. So, all right. You stirred it up in your last video. SST fans came out. Oh yeah, man, and they were saying I can't shoot. It's all your fault. SSTs always put stuff down. But then the guides come out and say we don't allow SSTs shot at our ranch. They've lost too many deer. I'm charging a guy $10,000 for the buck of a lifetime, and he shoots it and can't take it home. So there's at least two guys that came out and said that. They might work on your doe or if you shoot it behind that, but they're not good bullets. They explode apart too quickly. So it is what it is. All right. Late gun chat 69. All right. I got to shot my G20 for the first time today. I thought it would have more recoil. Yeah, well, no. There you go. Springfield 1908, like the 80 grain. I shoot 8 elk with this rifle. It's a sharpshooter. There you go. Kenny has a wealth of information for all y'all that are interested in custom built rifle or maybe just some modification to your own rifle. Be sure to hit up Desert Precision Gun Works. Okay, cool. Thank you. I have to look into that myself. All right. So, but yeah, Kenny has a great channel. Y'all go check him out. Eagle Eye Shooting. So, one of my mods. If you're one of my mods, go find the video for his 4570 rimless and put the link in the description. If you're one of the guys with the mod, I think that's like Darth Yogi and Brownies for My Fat and Grizzly Crazy and a few others. So is what it is. So, all right. So make sure you go check him out. You know, I will use my stream to plug other people that are good. So, how do GMX compare to TTSX in terms of expansion at given caliber and velocity? All right. So, GMX in all the calibers I've tested do great in expansion at close range. The general consensus out there, because I haven't tested them at long range yet, is that 300 to 400 yards is going to be your max in a GMX, so that it's not going to expand below 2,000 to 2,200 or so. Whereas TTSX might go down to 2,000 to 1,800. So you might get another 100 yards in terms of expansion out of the TTSX. It also depends on what you hit with. So if you're shooting 600 yards with TTSX, try to hit bone so that it expands. It'll still go through. It won't expand that much because of the velocity. And it goes, of course, it depends on your caliber. If you're like me and you're starting at 3,200 feet per second or 3,150 or something like that feet per second with the Barnes, then, I got 600 or 700 yards. I shoot the LRX for that reason, because the LRX is going to do everything the TTSX does with a little bit better ballistic coefficient. It's not great compared to a lead bullet because they're so long and the section density of copper is not that of lead, but it's better than the regular Barnes TTSX or the GMX, the ballistic coefficient. And they do a great job. That's why I shoot Barnes LRX. My wife's killed one caribou with it. I've killed a caribou. That was with the 7 mag. I've killed a caribou. She shot hers at 340 yards right through the neck. Great expansion right through. We found a little blue tip in the neck. People say the blue tip it disintegrates. It doesn't. We found it in the neck. That's all we found of the bullet. I shot a deer at 45. I shot at 459 yards. I shot a caribou with LRX, and then last year at 288 yards with 6.5 creedmore that you see behind me. That one right there, I shot with 127 grain Barnes LRX, and it's sledgehammered her, even in 6.5 creedmore. I don't care that. People do it with 243 and 223 and 25-06 doesn't mean you should. I'd say 25-06. That'd be the lowest caliber I'd go with, the 120 grain nozzle partition. A lot of people do it. So that's that. I'll put a video on that this weekend. Had to make rounds. Yeah, I bet you had to make rounds. Yeah. There you go. Funny, I just saw a guy take out a deer with drop stopped with a 9mm carbine. Yeah, the right thing. There you go. Ham Radio, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you on the channel. All right. So all we do here is make sure that we ask questions and answer user questions or viewer questions here. 308, 150 grain, 300 yards done. There you go. Yep. Really 400, 500 yards done. There you go. So Eagle Eye Shooting channel is right there. There's a link to his channel. Everybody go over there, click subscribe. His great channel. Okay, so TTS expands at lower velocity than GMX, and LRX expand at lower than TTSX. Good to know. Yep, pretty much. I would not shoot anything besides LRX. That's there are times where I shoot the TTSX, but I found the LRX, generally speaking, shoots better, performs better, all of that jazz. So it is what it is. And I've not had the factory LRX, the factory loads. I've not had them be inaccurate in any rifle. They're probably the most accurate factory load. Well, second most accurate factory load in my 270. My wife's 270. They're the most accurate factory load in my Bergara here, the 127s, and they're they're MOA accurate out of my 7 mag. My hand loads get 0.75 MOA out of my 7 mag. I've got, and here's the thing. So, just to be back on this topic, my 7mm Remington Magnum loves the 120 grain TTSX. It's sending at 3,600 feet per second, and it's a 120 grain TTSX because I have a 26-inch barrel. So the load manual said 3,400 feet per second, but that was a 24-inch barrel, and it loves it. I mean, it's 3 shots in near the same darn hole, but at 100 yards, and I shot that in the freaking -5 degrees while I was shivering. So yeah, TTSX is great on accuracy and stuff. My 7 mag loves it, but I trust what the LRX is going to do a little bit better at 3150 on a caribou or on a moose or something. The TTSX at 120 grain will get it done. It also is going so fast that it shed its pedals. And that's one thing the GMX doesn't do as badly as the LRX or the TTSX is shed its pedals if it's going too fast. So that's that. Okay, there's a link. Sorry, the other one was broken. Here's the real. Okay, there. Thank you. Everybody go subscribe to him. All right. Does anybody carry the M1A SOCOM in Alaska for bear defense? I'm sure somebody does. I don't know anything about it. Who's spamming the chat? I don't see it. So, all right. Azim Shah, good to see you. Thanks for joining in. When I shoot for the lungs or the neck because I eat the heart from a caribou, mule deer, white-tailed deer, product, or an elk and moose. There you go. And bison, apparently. Yes. All right, that's good. Hey, it is Mr. Tactical Lever Action.
What's going on?
Yes. All right, it's been a long time, man.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome Pat RMG to the house. All right, well, to the chat. He's not actually at my house, so that's that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'll be traveling to Alaska as soon as I can.
I know. And we got Slav Guns.
Hello there. I wasn't even ready yet. I'm typing in the private chat. I'll be ready in a second. But
okay,
thank you for having me on.
Anytime, man. So all we do is basically answer user questions. So
awesome.
Yep.
And then so actually while you do that, let me actually grab my headphones and something to drink, and I'll be right back. Give me one second.
Sounds good. All right. So, all right. Dose 7mm Magnum cover everything in Alaska. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, you can on everything 7mm. 7mm Remington Magnum or Weatherby Magnum or Shooting Times Westerner or 7mm short action Remington Magnum or Rum or whatever it is, Remington Ultra Magnum. Yes, it covers anything in North America and most things in Africa. Wouldn't you agree, Pat?
I would absolutely agree. That's a caliber that I need to spend far more time with.
Yep, absolutely. I agree. Hi, Pat. Hi, Pat. Is the 3030 useful in IK? I'm still 6K months from moving there, trying to whittle down my collection. People use it. People before the 4570 lever actions came out, that's what people used was a 3030 or a 35 Remington or a 375 Winchester or a 358 Winchester, something like that. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, people use it. The question is, can you find a really good hard cast bullet for it? Because 3030 is more powerful than a 44 Remington Magnum on your chest. So any long gun is better than a handgun, in my opinion. But you got to have the right bullet to penetrate a bear or a moose that's charging you. You don't want something that's going to break up. You want something that's going to penetrate. I think somebody makes a 190 grain hard cast bullet for 3030. So if you hand load, you can probably get some bullets for it up here. If it's something you just keep on because it's a cool gun and it's an iconic American gun, and you just buy factory ammo, is what it is. Yeah. So that's that. So what do you think? Would you come up here and use your 3030 because you got some tactical 3030s?
Well, the thing is I've also got a tactical 4570, and now I'll tell on myself I love my levers, but when I went to Montana in bear country, I carried a 308. So I did differentiate in all truth and honesty.
Right, because lever actions are cool. I mean, if you know it, here's the thing about 30-30 is you don't get 2 and 3 and 400-yard shots with that, no, unless you really know what you're doing with it. So that's
Well,
that.
now, all my whitetail were from 140 to 185, and they didn't run 50 yards. So
Yeah.
whitetail, they're constructed a little differently than your Alaska critters. But yeah,
Yeah.
even with 30-30, the last shot of the year, the final whitetail that I had a doe that would not turn broadside for me. And I knew that bullet was dropping at 10 inches. So I hit her with a dead on shot and didn't get into the guts. And I knew that I could at 185. So yeah, I understand what my limitations were, and I did it successfully. And then the cool thing is a guy that watches the channel, he was there watching me gut the deer, and he saw the whole thing. He knows where I shot it, and that's what's cool is I've got a dude that'll back me up. So yeah, understanding the shortfalls, the shortcomings, and using them to your advantage are solid.
Absolutely. All right. Reloading. Just learned about nodes. Only been reloading for 6 months. Yeah, nodes are a big deal. Some people chase the land. Some people try to find the nodes. I found that with Barnes bullets, loading it to the actual length that they say in the loading manual usually puts you at a node, and you get pretty good accuracy.
And then you discover barrel tuners, and then you start it all over again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't got to that point yet. I figure I can do it without it.
He's just simply talking about the muscle devices that I use, and yeah, they all cause a point of impact shift. They all cause a change. So yeah, you'll get you a pet load, and it's like, I really like this, and then you'll screw something differently onto the end of your barrel and say, well, let's start all over.
Yeah. Well, and then it kind of goes back to the question of, and especially like for hunting, I think it makes like, so I'm not a huge hunter in full disclosure, but I would think like a big point of consideration would be, are you looking for most accuracy, or are you looking for most energy, which means you need to have the most velocity coming out of the gun as well. And then, like I said, there's going to be a difference, I think, with most loads. So I know, even for example, in my particular cases, when we're doing load development, I actually developed 2 loads. The first one is going to be what's going to be the most accurate load, and typically that's going to be 1 or 2 steps away from the max load, and then we'll develop a maximum safe load, just with the purpose of having the most velocity, of just getting the bullet out there and having it still stay supersonic. And I guess if you want to use it for hunting, it's going to be still close enough.
Yeah. Now, it really depends on what you're doing hunting wise, in my opinion. But like, I've not shot a caribou under 212 yards. Okay. Hasn't happened. That's my shortest shot on a big game animal in Alaska. Right. So having a good velocity and getting out there is nice. The LRX going 3,400 out of my sorry, my kid is running upstairs, and this is the basement.
The youngin's walking?
Shoot, he's been walking for 6 months.
Dude, I've been gone, man.
Yeah, he's running. All right, he's like using sign language and pointing at animals in books when we tell them which animal to point at. So he's a pretty smart dude,
Just go ahead and teach him this one.
Shut up.
Just shut up. Teach him that one.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. All right, brownies for my fat. Put Pat's RMG's language channel link in there. Sorry,
Thank you.
That's that. Oh, I was going to finish my thought there. When I was whitetail hunting in deer country in Georgia, I would load down to 3, 4, 7 tenths of a grain, sometimes a grain and a half, and it would do just fine. Especially, I like to hunt with my buddy, and my Browning at the time loved 110 grain VMAX. Well, 110 grain VMAX on a deer isn't going to penetrate very well if you're sending it at 3,300, 3,400 feet per second. So send it at 2,800 feet per second and shoot a deer at 150 yards, and now that thing's going 2,300 feet per second. Well, it's going to do a lot more penetration. And that's that. But that being said, my rifle I actually like the load at maximum too. Some rifles like the loads at maximum, but you are right. Slav guns, it generally speaking, it's a few grains
Yeah.
slower.
So here's a question: do you take into consideration barrel life when you're developing those loads? Or are you basically saying, "Hey, this is a hunting gun, and if it lasts me 500 rounds, it's good"?
Yeah, that's me. That my latest hunting gun was the TC Venture, the Thompson Center Venture 308, and basically, as far as I was concerned, when I put the 2 extra rounds on the stock, I put a hoptic quiver. I just screwed straight through it because I knew by the time I was done, there was no salvaging the stock. There was no salvaging the action. It was just going to be freaking done. So I bought it to enjoy, and that's it. Once it's at its end of its usable life, then we're done. And also, there are two differences in usable life. If I'm punching paper and I'm always trying to remain sub MOA, then there is a usable life that it's done. The boiler room, the kill zone on a whitetail is 8 to 10 inches. This thing, I can shoot it out till it's freaking 6 MOA and still lay dead deer down everywhere. So there are two different levels of usability. So paper punchers might consider it 500 rounds. They might consider it 1,000 rounds. Dudes like me, we're just putting meat in the freezer. If they don't run 50 yards, it's still considerably accurate. So yeah, you have different levels of tolerance for that.
Well, I know some of the bigger, like the Nosler ones, it's like you look at the barrel life on there, like, okay, it's like such an overborne cartridge. It's like, oh, it's like barrel life is like 500 rounds, but like when you think about it, it's like, okay, it's like it's gonna take you, let's say, 100 rounds to have a load develop, get it sighted in, and getting comfortable with the reliability of the gun. And then what is like if you take 5 or 6 shots a year out of it, it's like it's enough.
That's the thing. I like to go practice at least 40 shots a year. And back when ammo wasn't a problem, that was 100 shots a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my Bergara behind me already has 500 rounds through it. And I don't go shoot it but 2 or 3 times a year. But it's, been shot on the channel over the chronograph with different ammo. And it's done, when I first got it, I put 80 or 90 rounds through it when I first got it, after I broke it in with 40 rounds of some cheap stuff.
Yep.
And so, like, my Bergara, it's a 6.5 Creedmoor, and it's, their barrel lives are pretty good. It's supposed to be, 2,300 in a 6.5 Creedmoor, right?
Yeah.
But, my 6.5 by 284 Norma, on the other hand, it's extremely overboard with that wide 284 Winchester casing, and that thing's probably seen about 175 rounds since I got it last fall, and I think barrel life on those is like 1,300, and then a 6.5 PRC is like 700.
6.5 PRC you can actually get really good barrel life out of, though.
Yeah.
So talking to the guys at Hornady, we're actually expecting about 2,500 rounds out of 6.5 PRC before it gets sub MOA. So yeah, and same thing with Ruger engineers. We're like, yeah, you'll easily get 2,500, and I know there's some people who've been getting a bit more in there.
Yeah, I was watching the Backfire channel, and they said the average life is going to be like 700 to 800. I guess it just depends on whether you're buying a Savage Axis or you're buying a nice Criterion barrel or something.
Well, I think a lot of so knowing those guys, we're not really gun people, and I don't know where we got it, but like I said, this is strictly from the engineers at Hornady, from their own mouth, and people from Ruger. I know, like, sometimes we joke about that Slav guns is actually Ruger guns, but no, you're going to easily expect at least 2,500 rounds out of those. And I'll kind of give you a quick story with that. So when Ruger was launching the Hawkeye long range target in 6.5 PRC, the long range Hunter in 6.5 PRC, and the Ruger precision rifle in 6.5 PRC. So we had a 3-day media event that we went out to FTW Ranch, and I was fortunate enough to be invited there. So we took factory new guns, and so we were shooting them for 3 days straight, and in particularly the 6.5 PRCs. So there is 20 people who were shooting the guns. We went through at least 4 sessions a day, and in each session, it was about 200 rounds per person. So, I mean, the guns, basically, we put within 3 days, those guns easily got over 1,000 to 1,500 rounds. And those very same guns, I continued to brought them home, and those are the ones that I shot for my video reviews, and they still continue to be sub MOA. I mean, they're fine. They're fine out to 1,500 yards, and they're doing really, really well. So, yeah, 6.5 PRC is a great cartridge. I mean, it's not really... because everything is proportioned properly on that. I mean, it's not 308s. I mean, 308 is an awesome caliber in the sense that, I mean, you're not going to wear out a 308 barrel generally. But 6.5 PRC is a really good balance. Like I said, we're saying about 500 rounds less than 6.5 Creedmore.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, cool. Well, I learned something new today. All right, welcome to the channel. Eagle Eye Shooting.
What's going on, bud? Ah, he dropped.
He dropped. Yep. Oh man. All right.
Hey Derek. Hey Buzz.
Let's see. I got 75 feet of LMR with 400 with low insertion loss. That's some big cokes for sure. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about right there.
It's in English, but I don't understand.
Yeah, it's probably an autocorrect.
Or engineering speak.
I put down my deer this year by hitting the top of the lungs and glancing off the bottom of the spine, in front of the shoulders, between spine damage and bone shrapnel. It dropped. Okay, so
no, it says in front of the shoulders, top of the. Yeah, if you hit the top of the shoulders, that hits where all of the nerves come together. There's literally 5 sets of nerves that come together, and it doesn't kill the deer. It will drop right where it's at, but
they'll die later. But yeah.
Yeah, hitting the top of the lungs and glancing the bottom of the spine in front of the shoulders. That's forward of the shoulders. That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe it's lost in interpretation, but yeah, a high shoulder shot, that deer will fall right where it's at. So if you're like where I hunt, there's literally 4 property lines right there in that corner. So a high shoulder shot means that you don't have to trespass to recover the deer. Now you'll lose about 5 pounds of meat, but high shoulder shot, he'll fall right where he's at and then struggle and ultimately succumb to his hydraulic fluid leak. But yeah.
I always said, if you can, neck shots, brainstem neck shot, because if you miss the spine, you shock the spine enough, they go down and you hit the jugular, or the carotid or something like that. And I don't know how many deer with 223 VMAX I've put right here. 223 VMAX, and they go down like that.
Yeah, so. No, I go for the bullet room. The only problem is like here, November 20th is the start of our gun season. And so by November 20th, all of our bucks, they're puffed. So you're really getting into a larger mass of meat. Their necks have swelled from the rut. So they're still walking around with those big necks. A doe, it doesn't matter, but a buck, let's go for the bullet room.
Yeah. All right. So here's Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye Shooting, everybody.
Time 2.
Yeah, you would think Asians would have the best internet, but not me.
Oh no, dude! I've got the worst internet. Period.
I don't want to hear it. Y'all don't live next to a mountain in Alaska.
Dude,
I live on a little mountain in Pennsylvania in the Poconos.
Oh, there you go.
No, let me tell you. We went to IV888, and Paul and Andrew, they're like, "Hey man, upload everything to S3. Upload everything to S3." I sent them screenshots where I used all of the internet available, and I had a half meg on upload.
Yeah.
A half meg on upload.
It was bad out there at that little range.
No, dude, I come home.
Yeah.
I'm like, between the cell phones and the home internet, I pay $300 for this.
Right.
Yeah, man, that's awful. All right, Justin Toole wants to know, would you consider talking on a talk show like a live stream? Sure would. No 2 guys that usually have guests on their shows, and you would fit in very well. Guess they talked about life in Alaska. Yeah, cool, yeah. Yeah, give them my email, AlaskanBallistics@gmail.com. So.
I'd do it for Tennessee too. I actually interviewed today for this. They kept it super secret squirrel for me. The guy I interviewed for this thing today in Michigan starts October 28th. So I guess I'll figure out really quickly whether I got it or not. But yeah, I know that was centered toward Chuck, but if they got to use for me, we'll do it.
Anybody's there. So Eagle Eye Shooting, in case anybody doesn't know your channel, you have a great channel.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yep. Let's just tell everybody what you do.
Well, basically just I really don't have I guess a set genre. I just kind of do what I do with me and my son. We go out there, do a lot of long range shooting. I do a lot of cast lead bullet shooting as well. Get into competition, PRS, long range, ELR, and then lever guns. So I finally got a lever gun that Pat will approve. So that'll be coming up shortly.
I saw that lever today. Was it today on Instagram that I saw it?
Yes, sir. So
yeah.
Rossi,
I was acutely attuned to that.
Yeah. So Rossi finally made up for what they did wrong with that 92 they gave me. So I got that triple B, and I got the Dead Air Primal on the way. If you guys don't know, I do run and operate the Desert Precision Gunworks. It's a FFL shop. We do custom rifles, lever guns, bolt guns, rebarrel, revolvers. We do it all. So as you can tell, you can see the leg back here. So I built a lot of rifles. I manufactured over 450 rifles this year. Manufactured, not assembled, meaning I spun barrels up for them, and that's not including all the gunsmith work. So I've been blessed this year quite a bit.
Sweet. Awesome.
You know, I actually, from watching your videos, I actually told a gunsmith, he was talking about barrels and how they have a belly in them, and he was saying, I don't really know how to deal with that, and I don't really know how to deal with that. And I said, I was watching a buddy of mine, and it makes perfect sense if you put the belly at 6 o'clock and the crown at 12, that technically you are not having any windage issues.
Yep.
You're not fighting yourself. And then he was like, oh, wow, really?
Yeah. So living here, there's a lot of bench press guys out here that retired. I learned that trick from some of the gunsmiths that actually retired here as well. It's basically clocking the bore. That's what it's considered or called, and it's the curvature of the bore. Because if folks don't know, when they drill a piece of barrel super long, there's usually a little bit of deviation. It's kind of like tunneling or digging on the ground. You're going to get a hard spot or soft spot, so they're going to start to deviate down and come back up. So timing that bore will kind of mitigate all that striation on. If you get it vertical, 6 o'clock on the high side, you're basically just fighting elevation, which you could tune that out with your load with SDs and all that. Then if it was timed horizontal, then you're fighting your horizontal stringing when it heats up.
Yeah, and see, that's what I was telling the guy, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm pretty high priced because I really know what I'm doing. He was all into that. And I started talking to him about what you just said, that clocking of the board, and it was just like something just clicked, and he realized.
Yeah, there's always something to learn. There's a lot of smiths out there that I've learned from. I'm still learning. I'm not a pro. I don't have any certifications for gunsmithing. It's honestly all self-taught. I do come from a machinist background in a tool and die industry, working for Cisco Systems and doing microchips and all that, making stamps and stuff for their machines. So that's kind of where I get the tolerances and how I learn tool deflection and all that, in which I can incorporate all that in the lathe.
Yeah, and literally, like I said, just watching your stuff, that local guy, he just got enlightened. So
it's actually, I would say it's actually interesting. So I mean, like knowing like a lot of the companies around here, it's like I think the biggest trend, I guess what I would say is like 15, 20 years ago, like the big names, they were actually
just a minute.
So like I would say 15 like years ago, like the big names were actually like your old school gun guys that started messing with the guns. But right now, I mean, like especially if you look at the precision world, it's actually former engineers from other industries that are coming in and applying their craft to guns. Like whether it's aerospace and whatnot, it's like we got into this. Oh, what you guys do before? I was an aerospace engineer. We were designing parts for the space shuttle, and like we decided to do it for guns. So it's nice to see that.
So, Slug, you want to talk about your channel a little bit? What you do?
Sure, but so here we go. I mean, you got a great gunsmith over there, and you got these hunter people here. And I'm like, what the hell do I do?
You do a lot, dude. You do a lot.
I guess so. So I guess I'm Mr. Ruger Guns. I come from it from a slightly different perspective. I've been a big gun owner. I've been involved with firearms probably for the last 15 years or so, but created a gun forum, a regional gun forum here in the Northeast, and then kind of almost kept it as a hobby. Professionally, I was actually in the financial advisory space. I was an investment advisor, and I covered the gun industry. Hence why I'm pretty good. Like, I can get pretty much anything I need from the large gun companies, but like a smaller companies, like, who the hell are you? Generally, I've actually been a fan of run and gun type stuff. I competed at a lot of regional, national matches in USPSA. A couple of years ago, I hurt my wrist pretty badly, so now like I can't really practice as much as I did. And then I discovered the joys of longer range shooting. I'm like, holy hell, this is actually kind of fun. So the channel has kind of been focused on that. I love modern new caliber, so 6 arc that Eli has a ton of experience with, and he beat me to 6 arc to a mile, you rat bastard. Love the newer calibers, and occasionally we do cover a lot of the newer guns that come out, so like in the CCW space. And it's been a blessing to have awesome friends, and just to be involved in the space and always do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about planning for SHOT Show.
I'm not planning for SHOT Show. I guarantee you I could walk through the doors if they open it, but at this point, I do not plan for SHOT Show.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It really is. It is. So here we go. Like I talked to, and so I bother Chris Dolnack, the head organizer for SHOT Show. I bother him every couple of days. So is everything still good? Is everything still good? So we do chat on that. But now I'm actually very confident in it happening this year.
I have zero confidence in the fact that I will smell the cigarette smoke of Vegas in January.
Well, you can't smoke in most of those. You can't smoke in most of those places now, anyway. So you're right. You're not going to smell cigarette smoke there.
Well, I doubt that I will.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt because this is a viewer the question. What is a node for those of you that reload and stuff?
Have him answer it.
Yeah, Adam's a great friend of the channel, and Adam, I've been loading your 10mm bullets you sent me. But
the technical term to that is harmonic resonance at the tip of the muzzle. Basically, your harmonics, all the little vibrations and frequencies. Finding a node on your rifle is meaning you have zero resonance, meaning zero is at the middle point of the harmonics at the tip of the muzzle. So your projectile is exiting as consistent with each other.
Yeah, can't say it better. And reloaders like lengthen or shorten their cartridges and find the place where the bullet doesn't wobble as much going into the chamber, if you will. I understand it.
Three things that affect your node or basically resonance or harmonics will be your bullet seating depth, powder charge, and neck tension.
There you go. So.
All right. So really quickly, how does a node compare to chasing the lands?
Dude, I don't know. It can be interpreted both ways. Some may see it as half empty and some may see it as half full. It's basically the same thing. Chasing the lands is essentially chasing the node. How I interpret it, as your throat wears out, your bullet is jumping, so that is affecting how your bullet is engaging the lands, affecting the harmonics and all that. So you basically push the bullet out to chase the node, as so to say, versus chase the land. So it's interpreted both ways to some people.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to clear that up, get that wiped out for the people at home. So yeah,
this is the best way for the simpletons to know. Dan O'Neill.
I'm not qualified I'm not qualified enough to put pro in my name yet.
Yeah. So now Dan. Dan, just simply enough, even with my little rimfire voodoo, just different loads. I will take two very similar, what look like very similar on the box loads, just straight out of the box, put them in, and I'll have two different points of impact, and that's all because of harmonics. It's all because of everything that they've mentioned with this nodes and chasing the lands, it's all about that. And then, of course, if you put something on the end of the barrel, you're affecting harmonics. You're going to change your point of impact. So yeah, that all leads right back into that same realm there.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think really with all of it, it's like precision, like, and even if you want to take it one step up to in terms of actually having a precise group on a target, I mean, accuracy out of the gun is just basically it's one factor out of it, because then even if like you have so like when we're talking like developing a load, I guess one of the things you can kind of control, and the only thing you can control, is the load itself to a greater degree, because you're still going to have tolerances in there. So even if you have a load with low single digit standard deviation, that still is not going to translate into a good group on target, because that's going to depend on you as the shooter. That's going to depend on the wind. It's going to depend on other variables. So it's kind of like, okay, well, what do you want to chase first? And I guess like in the car world of it, it's like, well, it's like, do you control your, like, where's the bracket for bracket racing and consistency? Where does it actually come from? Does it come from the driver? Does it come from the car? So, I mean, it's like, it's what do you feel comfortable chasing down? So, I mean, me personally, I'm a big fan. So, what was the name of that article that was written a while back that was republished? It was experiments from a factory, something like that.
Oh, it's the secret. Yeah, it's over there in Texas. It's the
correct.
Oh gosh, tip my tongue now. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm going to find a link, but basically, so if you guys haven't read it, the gist of it was they took what they wanted to do is actually figure out, well, how much does accurate ammo factor into accurate groups? So what they did was they took a warehouse, and by shooting indoors, there's no wind, there's nothing else. And what they discovered was that even velocity spreads and ammunition did not translate into big deviations on the group, and the biggest impact on those groups, and we're shooting sub-quarter-inch groups, was actually your trigger discipline and your positioning behind the gun. So like even me personally, it's like I'll try to develop a good load, but I'm not gonna go completely crazy over it, because then like I'm still focusing on how I'm pulling the trigger and shooting that way, and then the wind, and then it's like then really got to ask yourself. I mean, like, well, how much accuracy do you actually need? And that's going to be different whether you're hunting, playing PRS, or playing F class.
Yeah, and that's 100%. I definitely piggyback off that. Slav guns are 100% right. You got to set a goal for what you need, and realistically, all you need is a sub MOA gun. Most people don't really shoot out past 1,000 yards. For instance, the competition I went to last weekend, Competition Dynamics, the furthest shot was 830 yards, and it's all about reading your wind. So you're actually more proficient shot and more accurate shooter if you know how to read the wind and get your shots placed that way.
Yep. Well, and I think I would love for you to touch upon the subject and being a gun builder, but it's like, it's pretty much any modern type gun with a modern design cartridge with tight factory tolerances is going to be able to shoot sub MOA. But I mean, like, if you're going crazy and you want to go get to sub 3/4 MOA or sub half MOA, you got to bust out a lot of money. And then it's like, well, do you actually even need to? Because so a couple of big so PRS type shooting and like 3-gun is blowing up big time in Eastern Europe. And here's the thing: to them, acceptable accuracy is 2 MOA.
Right.
Because like I said, and they're shooting out to like 1,000 yards. Like, yeah, all we need is basically 2 MOA for the targets that we're doing. And it's like we all love chasing small tight groups, but it gets expensive.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, 2 MOA. This is a mosquito
right,
can.
There you go. Yep.
There you go.
So they kind of make it.
All right. What is more popular in Alaska? 338
or
10 millimeter.
Right. 338 Win, 307 millimeter rim mag. The most popular is going to be 300 Win mag out of that group. It's extremely popular here. If people come to when I worked at the Cabela's counter and go into other gun stores, when people go in looking for a rifle, 99% of the time it's a 300 Win mag. People like other calibers. People have other calibers. People love to shoot other calibers. But if you're out hunting and you see a regular bolt action rifle of any kind, it's a 300 Win Mag most of the time. I have a 7mm and a 338 because I like to be different, but 338 is immensely popular up here, as well as 375 H&H. 7mm Remington Magnums making a little comeback. It's good, so is what it is. So, all right.
Yes, I have an OnlyFans. I just saw that. I had to tune straight into that. I have an OnlyFans. Yes.
All right. Cool.
Never heard of it yet.
Well, OnlyFans is trying to get more PCs, so maybe they'll go from porn stars to gun content creators.
Right.
There you go. I'm a meat hunter. Here we go. All right.
Minute of deer. That's what I was talking about earlier when you were talking about barrel life. You know, if we're punching paper, yeah, we want to be subbing away. The boiler room on a deer is 8 to 10 inches, so you can effectively be a 6 MOA shooter and still drop a deer at 100 yards.
Sure you can, but like a lot of us hunt, like I said, here in Alaska, you know, hunting is my lowest shot, other than shooting like grouse and squirrels, is like 212 yards on a big game animal. So I take that back and shoot my grizzly bear at 88 yards through the face. But,
yeah, now see, like I hunt, the place where I hunt is like 360 acres of cleared land. If I go in the woods, then 100 yards is unheard of. So, you know, I can do whatever I want to there, but out in the opening, you know, I've got shots out to about 400 yards in the one field. So I can still, as long as I can hit 6 inches, we're good.
Yep.
Right. So actually, you skipped a comment going over about backfire. So I just kind of wanted to clarify and just kind of make myself a little bit clear. I love the channel. However, and like I said, I know those guys, they come from a marketing type world, and they do really, really amazing work on there. It's a very, very enjoyable and watchable videos, but I would not do those videos that way. And there have been in their past videos, they've had a number of technical mistakes and some of the easy stuff. But like I said, I don't know where we're picking the 6.5 PRC useful barrel life of 750 rounds. That's just absurdly wrong. And like I said, it's just pure out wrong. But then again, I also question how they can shoot like 4 MOA out of a Mossberg Patriot, but that's a different story. And I did offer to buy that gun, and it didn't come to me.
I had a Patriot. I had a Mossberg Patriot, and I really was not disappointed. It didn't show up on the YouTube channel because, you know, I shoot 3 times and then I'll turn the camera on once. Half of what I do doesn't even get recorded. But yeah, I had a Mossberg Patriot, and I was not disappointed in it.
Yeah. I'm actually liking that. So I'm in a process of a larger series with 6.5 PRC guns in particular, and the cheapest one by far is the Mossberg Patriot. And like I said, we did it stock, and we pretty much Gucci'd it out. It's now in a Boyd's at one stock. So we have the Ruger American, Savage Axis, Savage 110, and Ruger Precision Rifle. Out of all of those guns, the Mossberg has the smoothest action and accuracy. I mean, like pretty much factory. I can't do a sub 1 inch 5-shot group, but it has done consistent sub 1 inch 3-shot groups, and that's because the barrel is like paper thin there. So for a hunting gun, it would be awesome. I mean, like it's a really nice gun. And they've actually, and like I do know that Mossberg has issues with consistency mostly in terms of production on their barrels. And I had really horrible experience with their 224 Valkyrie MVP precision. But I mean, they're not like, even though that was a bad shooter, it's not like 4 or 5 MOA type gun. It's like, it's no way it's that bad. But like I said, but it's kind of like, if you're going to do a big rifle comparison, at least have them all be in the same type of caliber. So you can compare them equally instead of saying, hey, this 6.5 Creedmore versus 7 Rem Mag or like 300 Win Mag. It's like, come on, there's a difference between the two.
Absolutely. Well, I hate to do this to y'all guys, but I promised my wife I would take the kid out shopping with me tonight before the stores close at 8:00. So I gotta go. And thanks everybody for coming on. It's a good discussion and a lot of people in the chat. I'll give everybody one last thing to say what video they got coming up next and what to look at in your channel. And make sure you guys like and subscribe to all of these guys. Pat, Kenny, right? Eagle Eye Shooting, and Slav Guns. Go check them out. Make sure you check them all out. So anyway, GTM's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Anyway, we will see y'all next week. But go ahead. Let's start with my top right. Slav Guns. What do you got coming out next?
So we just did the second video with our. I went to Cabela's and I bought a $269 Savage Axis in 6.5 Creedmore. So we're gonna see if we can take that gun and go shoot it 1,000 yards stock, and it came with a scope. And then next week we have a Savage Elite Precision, complete opposite, Savage Elite Precision in 300 PRC, and that's actually a pretty fun toy. So I'll be soon. And just thank you for having me on. This was actually really enjoyable and awesome. This melding.
Yep, and it looks like Brownies for My Fat has put your channel linked in here, so
thank
people
you.
can click right on that. Very good, and he usually puts it in the comment section afterwards too. So thank you, Brownies. All right, and go join my buddy Whammy Gunslinger on Facebook. Yeah, he has a lot of fun things going on there. You want to talk guns all day long with people, good people too, that aren't going to cuss you out because you don't like ELDX. As a hunting round, it's a great precision round. Eagle Eye Shooting, you want to go ahead and tell us what you got coming up next? I guess that 45-70 no rimmed AR-10.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, I think guys should really consider joining Slab Guns and Pat RMG. Their channels are very entertaining, and honestly, they put the content out. It is fantastic content, very easy to follow. So for me, I guess I'm kind of taking a break. I just came back from a big competition. Probably throw a couple some lever gun videos out there today, or this weekend. I got a 25 Creedmore that I just built, so I'll play around with that.
Mm-mm.
I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Pat.
Well, I have got the least accurate gun that we've spoken about this evening. I've got the Mark Novak Anvil Gunsmithing. I have got the Pig Stick, the Remington 1100 semi-automatic, converted to effectively a 75 caliber rifle. And he has entrusted that thing to me, and right before deer season, and I've got a couple leads on dropping some hogs. So yeah, I'm gonna be slinging some freaking like big old chunks of lead at just chunks of meat and doing stupid stuff. This Friday, I'll actually be in Childress, Texas to train with Rob Higgins from Muzzlefront LLC. Going to be going down there and doing some just fun gun training. He's such an incredibly knowledgeable guy. I enjoy it. This will be my second time training with him, and I could not be more excited. So I've got that. ARPCOM, I'm going to Big Daddy Unlimited November the 12th. And then also, like I said at the beginning, I interviewed for a host type position. So possibly October 28th, I'll be filming in Michigan with that crew. So I'm hoping that plays out. I think I killed the interview. We'll see.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those that I killed the interview and I didn't get the job. So, all right. So anyway, how is it 7 p.m. in AK and 8 p.m. in California? Because AK is the next time zone over. We are significantly farther west than California. So,
oh, dog, it's 11 o'clock here. So
yeah, this is the time I've been starting it lately. So I'm glad you guys can make it. Y'all are welcome every Tuesday, sometime around 5:30, 6 o'clock ish, maybe 6:30, depending on what we're doing. So that's that. Anyway, everybody, thank you for joining in. I really appreciate these guys who are way more knowledgeable than me joining in. Thanks, Slav Gun, and
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Well,
anytime y'all Tuesday, y'all are welcome back anytime. So guys, God bless. Take care. We will see you at the range.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go,